your cult boyfriend here, once again, talking about another Frank Capra masterpiece. You Can't Take It With You, 1938, a completely remarkable film, such a likable film, a film that makes me swell up with joy, with happiness, and comedy. This is a very, very funny film, and I think it's an invaluable film within the Capra-esque library of incredible material because like Mr. Deeds had his quirks, he had his little funny like idiosyncratic things about him, but really it's You Can't Take It With You where Capra really celebrates and champions weirdness, but like that the affectionate sort of quality that can make up a very distinctive personality, the individual. This is where he truly champions the individual, and to him, being individual isn't something that you can duplicate. It's something entirely authentic, something wholly you, something that only you can really perform, can really be. All that weird eccentric stuff that makes up everyone that other people could be ashamed of or try to hide. um, you Can't Take It With You champions your weirdness, your quirks, and that makes them not only affectionate but beautiful, and beautifully transformative, like the transformative power of the individual American spirit, which is a really nice thing. I think that Capra is extremely affectionate towards eccentrics, especially eccentric family systems. This is the first film he did with Jimmy Stewart, and it might be Jimmy Stewart at his most relatable to me. Jimmy Stewart in this film plays a young man who is well aware that he's not living authentically, that he's definitely living inauthentically. His parents are snobs. They are also like selfish, predatory capitalists, and and he sees the shallowness in the way that they live and the inauthenticity, and I think that's almost what makes him that much more attracted to Jean Arthur's character and that much more in love with her family, because what they represent is, I think, what can only truly be described as American, of all the weird eccentricities that make up this country, that make up everyone within it. And he sees her family as being truthful, as living truthfully. um it's just so incredible. It's kind of hard to explain it because it's just so simply great. It's such a simply great film. But yeah, I related a lot to Jimmy Stewart's character here, and the kind of admiration and longing and like maybe the nuances of his performances, uh wishing he was part of that sort of community of people. The community of people who aren't afraid to wave their freak flag because that's the flag that makes them who they are. Because it's the part of them that's the most truthful. And Capra also delivers not scathing, but I just think a practical commentary, criticisms of, kind of like capitalist systems in a way. Uh, our hero doesn't want you to do anything in this film that you don't love doing. Like, why are you a banker? Why are you a bank teller? Why are you working behind a desk? What would you rather be doing? What's that thing that you would rather do because you're living an unfulfilled life? Imagine if you could just do what you wanted. Um, so long as what you wanted to do was authentic, was a true representation of who you are as a person. Because the true representation of who you are, if everyone truly represented their inner self, then the representation of America would be so vibrant and so interesting and so fascinating. Especially if those kinds of affectionate sort of misfit people could 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 soften and help make blossom the part of like the predatory capitalist that is so cold and so twisted, because there is that integral intrinsic part of even the most selfish capitalist that that is truthful. There's a truthful part of everyone, and it really takes the affectionate misfits to bring out the affection in even the most disaffected people. and You Can't Take It With You is an extraordinary film. I think that the photography is excellent. I think that the Riskin adaptation of the play is a phenomenal script, and I love the changes that he made to it. And I think they benefit the story, especially since it's more focused on this idea of of a wild family that doesn't seem to fit in anywhere, but definitely fits in here. It's a family that from the outside doesn't seem to have a home, but the whole thing is they're the ones with the home, with the community, with the friends. Because like an intellectual success, a monetary success, uh, fame or recognition in a shallow sort of way, those are things you can't do anything with. You, you you can't take it with you. You need friends, you need community, but you need those pure friends, those pure communities, to be based off of like shared misfit identities where we all champion each other's idiosyncratic weirdness, the quirks that make everyone charming or at least interesting in their own peculiar but lovely ways. This is Frank Capra's, I think, probably his most affectionate film, especially towards people who would be seen as counterculture, honestly. This is Capra's most affectionate film to outsiders because it really frames the outsiders as the ones who have the deepest understanding of what it is to be an individual and of what it means to be a truthful person, or at least an authentic one, a sincere one. And Capra is so good at this. And there is a deeper ambivalence. There is a deeper texture to the film. I mean, no Frank Capra film is simple sentimentality, and no Frank Capra film is just a divine happy ending. Every Frank Capra film comes with a caveat or two. Every Frank Capra film comes with a complication, and You Can't Take It With You is no different. Because you champion one thing, you have to. Someone has to be a loser in any given situation. And criticisms of Capra, I mean, I think that they are mostly valid, but I think they're mostly insincere and are done in bad faith. You Can't Take It With You, I think, is a very beautiful film. It's a masterpiece of a film. It's a masterful movie. It's such a lovable movie. Lionel Barrymore is so good in this. He is hilarious in this film. I love him so much. He, the scene where he plays harmonica with Jimmy Stewart's father and brings out that truthfulness inside of him, and it's not just a childishness, but it is like a childlike freedom that he is able to bring out of this old predatory capitalist. He's able to bring it out of him through being childlike, through the sensitivities of a childlike person. But what he's really able to do is bring out the true misfit that has grown at the same time as this predatory capitalist has and has been like forgotten or just neglected because it is a matured sensitivity. It is a mature sensitivity that Lionel Barrymore's character is able to derive from this cruel and predatory, selfish capitalist, and he brings out a true sensitivity and a mature sincerity from him. And the scene where they play harmonica together, like I got tears in my eyes when he looked up at Jimmy Stewart and just smiled because that character the entire time had been so grim, so like intimidating and off-putting and cold and unavailable to the audience. And then in that smile, when Jimmy Stewart looks at his father and his father smiles at him, it's such a beautiful moment, and like it kind of makes me want to cry from joy. Like the best kinds of tears a film can give you are tears of joy, and You Can't Take It With You. That it really it really hits all of my unique sensitivities to a film. It champions the misfit in a way that I find incredibly authentic and uniquely and absolutely American. And I find that so precious and so significant. And I don't think the film's ever lost that sort of significance. And it is one of Frank Capra's greatest films. It's one of his most masterful works. it is like a perfect film. It is very close to perfect, if not completely perfect. You'd really have to nitpick to be an asshole about this movie. This movie kind of is perfect from beginning to end. It's it's a delightful film with a delightful message. It makes you look around at those things that annoyed you about your family or friends or community, like your neighborhood, those little things that annoyed you about very specific kinds of people, and then rethink it and reclaim that weirdness that used to annoy you, and view it as what it truly is, which is a virtue, which is a misfit virtue that we all have. And together with all of our misfit virtues, we make up a very loud sort of nearly catastrophic jovial jubilee of personality. In Frank Capra's world, everyone's like a firework. Everyone sparkles and everyone means something, and everyone makes noise. You Can't Take It With You is beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful film. The photography is just wonderful. The staging is absolutely excellent. The choreography is delightful. I mean, the cast is to die for. Jean Arthur is so beautiful here. Jean Arthur has so much pathos here. It's a great Jean Arthur performance, and a really great Jimmy Stewart performance. I was very impressed by Jimmy Stewart in this film. Lionel Barrymore was excellent. Edward Arnold, who I believe played Jimmy Stewart's father, was remarkable. He is the one who pulled the tears from me. Was not expecting him to do that. Him to have that kind of capacity to make me just so impressed by the emotionality of his performance, of his physical performance. What an incredible actor. This is an incredible ensemble. You know, it might be the best ensemble cast in any film. You Can't Take It With You. Everyone really meant so much to the movie, and you can't remove any part, any actor from this film. You can't replace them with anyone. I don't see it working if you did. Everybody was just so and like personified and embodied the role and spirit of the film so well that you remove a single piece and it's not as perfect as it once was. And You Can't Take It With You is one of the most perfect films ever made, and it's a Frank Capra masterpiece to its core, and it strikes me to my core. I'm so impressed by this film and I love it to death. I've been your cult boyfriend, raving, absolutely losing my brain, losing my mind over how much my heart soars for You Can't Take It With You. Once again, a beautiful Frank Capra masterpiece. Thank you for watching. I love this film. That's all. That's good. No.